Episode 1. What is Radiant Rise? Hello, friend. Welcome to the very first episode of Radiant Rise. My name is Michelle Baldwin, and before we talk about anything else, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for pressing play. Out of all of the podcasts you could have listened to today, you chose to spend a little bit of your time here with me. That means more than I can put into words. I have to be honest with you. I'm really nervous recording this. Writing has always been my safe place. It's where I've shared my heart, processed some of the hardest seasons of my life, and found words when speaking them out loud felt impossible. Sitting here with a microphone is a completely different experience. I'm wondering if I'll stumble over my words. I'm wondering if my voice will shake. I'm wondering if I'll forget what I wanted to say. And if I'm being completely honest, there's a part of me that's wondering if anyone will even listen. But then I reminded myself why I started Radiant Rise in the first place. It was never about being perfect. It was never about having all the answers. It has always been about showing up honestly. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you've followed my writing for a while, you'll probably notice something about this podcast that's different from a lot of others. You may hear my dog Luna bark because someone knocked on the door. You may hear kids laughing, a motorcycle driving past, someone talking in the background. Maybe my chair squeaks. Maybe I lose my train of thought for a second. And you know what? I'm okay with that because life isn't recorded inside a perfect studio. Life happens, healing happens, the messy moments happen. And I don't want to edit those moments out just to create the illusion that life is always quiet and put together. I want this podcast to feel like you're sitting across the table from me with a cup of coffee, just two people having an honest conversation, because that's what Radiant Rise has always been. Which brings me to the question I wanted to answer today. What is Radiant Rise? People always think it's about my website or my blog or my books or my Substack or now my podcast. But Radiant Rise is so much more than any one of those things. Radiant Rise is a community. It's a reminder that no matter where you are, what you're carrying, you don't have to carry it by yourself. It's a place for the people whose battles aren't always visible, the people living with chronic illness, chronic pain, mental health challenges, neurodivergence, grief, burnout, trauma, or simply the weight of trying to hold everything together while the world keeps expecting you to keep going. I know what that feels like. I've lived it, and I still do. There are days when my body hurts, days when my mind feels exhausted, days when I wonder if anyone really understands what life is like behind the scenes. Maybe you've had those days too. Maybe that's why you found this podcast. If so, I'm really glad you're here. Radiant Rise isn't about pretending everything gets better overnight. I don't believe healing works that way. Some days, healing looks like getting out of bed. Some days, it looks like asking for help. Some days, it looks like resting instead of pushing yourself. Some days, it looks like laughing after you've spent hours crying. Healing isn't one big moment, it's thousands of tiny moments where we choose to keep going. That's what this podcast will be about. Some episodes will be educational, some will be deeply personal, some will be conversations with incredible guests. Some might simply be me checking in with you after a hard week. We'll talk about chronic illness, mental health, ADHD, autism, endometriosis, fibromyalgia, IBS, medical gaslighting, caregiver burnout, relationships, grief, healing, hope, books that inspire us, life lessons, and probably a little bit of everything in between. Above all else, we're going to be real. I'm not interested in pretending I have life figured out. I don't. I'm still learning, still growing, still healing, and maybe that's exactly why this podcast exists, because we're allowed to grow together. One of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast is because I know not everyone consumes content the same way. Some people love reading blog posts, others listen while driving to work. Some listen while folding laundry, sitting in a doctor's office, walking their dog, or lying awake when sleep won't come. I want Radiant Rise to be available in whatever format helps someone feel supported. If reading is your thing, I'll still be writing. If listening feels easier, I'm so happy you're here. Wherever you found, I hope you know this. You belong here. You don't have to earn your place. You don't have to explain your place. You don't have to explain your pain. You don't have to prove how hard you're trying. You don't have to hide the parts of yourself that you've spent years feeling embarrassed about. This is a place where honesty is welcome, where healing doesn't have to look perfect, where we celebrate progress instead of perfection, and where no one has to pretend they're okay just to make other people comfortable. As we wrap up this first episode, I want to leave you with one thought. You don't have to have everything figured out to begin. I certainly don't. This podcast isn't launching because I finally reached a finish line. It's launching because I decided I didn't want to wait until I felt fearless. Sometimes courage simply means pressing record while you're still nervous. And that's exactly what I did today. Thank you for taking this first step with me. I truly can't wait to see where this journey takes us. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love for you to follow the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. If you know someone who might need a little encouragement today, consider sharing Radiant Rise with them. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Take things one moment at a time. And remember, the hardest battles are often the ones no one sees. But here, you'll never have to face them alone. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.